And welcome to Lavonne's Kitchen. We are still on our journey around the world full of flavors. We are on our way back to Greece because somebody told me they wanted a dessert from Greece. So what better than baklava? So we're gonna make some baklava, okay? So let's get started. First thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you my ingredients. We're gonna use pistachios. So make sure when you get the pistachios, they are already out of the shell because it will take you forever to sit there and take them out of the shells, okay? So we have some honey, some lemon juice, some cinnamon, some sugar, and we have some water. We have our Phyllo dough and some butter. Now, remember when we were working with Phyllo dough, when we made the spinach pies? If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check the spinach pie video. But we were using a brush, and it is a little tedious when you're working with Phyllo dough, first of all. But when you're using a brush, it takes a lot of time and stuff. I've got a tip for you. Put your butter in a bottle and just spray the layers. You talking about something so quick and easy, and you don't have to worry about tearing your dough. Remember that. Okay, so I'm gonna melt my butter, pour it in my bottle, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started on our first layer of Phyllo dough because we've got to get 6 layers down. I've got 8 by 8, I think it is, square dish, and we're gonna put those in there. So let me melt my butter and get it in my bottle. So before I get my butter ready, I want to go ahead and open up my Phyllo dough. This is some leftover. I want to get that, and I don't want it to dry out, so I am going to put a wet towel over it. Just a damp towel, not necessarily wet, just a damp towel. Actually, I think I'm going to cut these in half first. Okay, that's close enough. I'm going to cover them with a towel so that they stay damp. We don't want them to dry out. And now I'm going to put my butter in here. This is perfect. I got this from the dollar store, $1.25. You just wash it out real good and melt your butter and pour it in there. That's gonna make this so much easier. Now make sure you melt your butter before putting this in there because I'm not sure if this is microwave safe. So melt your butter first. So I'm gonna do my first 2 layers of Phyllo dough, and then I'm gonna make my nut mixture, okay? Because like I said, I want this to be damp. So I'm gonna, since I have the towel on the top, of course, those first 2 should be damp enough. And then I'll put that towel back on there, let the rest of it dampen up a little bit while I get my nut mixture together. So we're gonna put 2 of these in here. It's starting to tear. That's why I was saying we needed to. And because it's not the perfect size, I'm going to be cutting some. Now it depends on what size you use. Sometimes the dough might fit. So say for instance, I used a 9 by 13 pan. It would probably fit a lot better. But see, look at this. Perfect. There we go. And instead of all that brushing, I'm just going to spray it. Oh my goodness, look how easy that is. There we go. I should have sprayed the pan first. Let me see if it's too late. That's okay. We're going to spray the bottom because I should have sprayed this pan first. Okay, we're gonna call that a blooper, but that's fine. So now we have our first layer down. Now what we're gonna do is put our nuts, we're gonna cover this back up. There we go. Now we're gonna cover our nuts, ground up our nuts. There we go. All right, now that our nuts are nice and crushed, I want to take just 1/4 of a cup of these nuts and put them in a bowl, put them to the side, because I want to use those to top the baklava later, okay? So our nuts are ready. I want to take a teaspoon of cinnamon, and mix that in there. And this is what we're gonna, oh, it smells good. Cinnamon smells so good. It has a very strong smell to it, but it smells so good. Okay, so this is what we're going to use as our mixture. It's just the nuts and some cinnamon, okay? I just wanna make sure that that's, blended up really good. Now, so that your butter does not solidify, keep shaking it. Okay, so what we want to do now is take our nuts, get your little scooper or whatever, and just put it on top. Just put a thin layer of nuts on the top. That's good. Cover that up, spray. And add some more nuts. And add some more phyllo dough. Oh, I can cover that up. Ah. Add some more nuts. Now you could have added sugar to your nuts as well if you want it to be that sweet, but remember we're going to be using honey in the in our sauce, so I don't want mine to be too sweet, but All right, so I'm going to keep layering this until I'm out of nuts and phyllo dough. Okay, I think that is going to be enough for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the top layer on. Let me see how many pieces I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I got 8. Okay, let's do one more layer. Remember to keep shaking that butter because it will solidify. All right, one more layer and then we're going to put our top on. And smooth it out a little bit. And there we go. Add a little bit more in here. Might as well just put them all in there. There we go. All right, now let's do our top. Okay, so now we're gonna do our top layer. Just gonna put 1, 2, and we're gonna spray it. We're gonna do 2 more. 1, 2. And our last layer. And then I'm gonna trim that off there. This is so much easier than using the brush, and it doesn't tear because I'm not touching it. I want the top to be real buttery. This is our top. Every little spot that I can. Okay, good enough. And then I'm gonna trim this off the edge. And I'm gonna bake this at 350 degrees. Oh, we gotta cut it first. Ah, I forgot. So, there's a special way you cut baklava. All right, let's get some of this stuff out of our way. We're gonna turn this like this, and we're gonna go ahead and cut it into squares. Make sure you're getting all the way at the bottom. I'm gonna do it this way, then I'm gonna turn it this way and go right back, like scoring it. Yeah, there we go. Turn it the other way. And do it again. I want to make sure, see how it goes all the way across, how easy it is? I want to make sure that it's cut. So make sure that it's cut all the way on both sides so that when you pull these pieces out, they're in pieces. Now what I want to do is it go sideways first? Yeah, we're gonna go sideways on an angle. I'm gonna turn it this way so that I can go back over those sideways cuts and make sure it went all the way through. Hold it down so that when you're cutting it, it's not coming loose or falling apart. Okay, now we're gonna just cut it one more time, going straight down the middle. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm sure this is not perfect. But it's gonna look totally different after it's cooked and when you pull them out, the pieces out. Okay. Just wanna make sure it's cut all the way. Okay. Here's one that needs to be cut. That corner needed to be cut. Okay, let's put that back on there. Okay, now everything's cut. It's time to make our syrup. Okay, so for our syrup, we're gonna add 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, and we're gonna stir that and let it dissolve. While that's dissolving, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, mix it all up. I'm not sure if this this is enough. I may need another half a cup of water in here. Let's see. I think I'm gonna put one more half a cup of water in here. Once I get that almost to a boil, I'm gonna go ahead and add my honey. It's going to be about 2 tablespoons of honey. Maybe 3. Yeah, let's do 3. Okay, our baklava is ready for our juice to go over. Make sure that it's totally covered and that it's going through those slits that I made. So, oops. That's enough. That should be good enough. And we're gonna bake this, like I said, for 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. Okay, I just wanna make sure there's enough in there. I think so. All right. So I just took it out of the oven. It's still extremely hot and bubbly. But what I wanna do is those extra pistachios that I had, I wanna sprinkle those on there right now. And then I'm gonna let this cool down. And there we go. Show you. I had to let it cool off, but look at it. I put more pistachios on top. But now I'm gonna take it out. Let's see. And then taste it. It's sticky. Remember that stuff that I poured on the top, and it had honey in it, and it had sugar in it. Well, needless to say, all of that was sticky stuff. Okay. I'm going to put it in another container so that I can put it in the refrigerator. But I'm going to kind of cut these apart a little bit. Remember, I had cut them into pieces. So let me go ahead and pull some of those pieces apart. Nice and flaky on the top. All those different layers kind of all went together.